Hello boys and girls, today I want to show you the most brutal yet ridiculous sounding vocal effect ever. This one sounds like having boiling blood bubbling in your lungs. So guttural, so beautiful. Welcome to the toilet flush vocal effect. It sounds like this. Nice, right? I've been using this effect in many of my productions. You know, death metal vocals are just supposed to sound over the top ridiculous. And there was this point when I was recording some really guttural sounding vocals and they had this bubbling modulation, this slimy thing going on where I thought, like, how can I support this with an effect and make it even more brutal? So I created this effect more than 10 years ago. And whenever I feel like, okay, let's go to the next level. This just needs to be even more guttural, even more brutal, even more extreme, just over the top, kind of like ridiculously. And it sounds lovely. As you might have heard, we are listening to a track from the French death metal band Benighted. I've been working with those guys for more than 20 years, have worked on all their albums, produced them and mixed them, really love what they're doing. And Julien, the singer, is one of the most brutal sounding singers out there. This track comes from their latest album from 3 years ago, and this one is called Nails, but they have just released 2 new singles, and there's a link below to their latest video, so please check out Benighted. They're brutal. Now let me quickly show you how this works. So I have one main vocal track, which sounds like this. What you have to do now is you have to create a stereo track in the DAW, and you copy that vocal take, the mono vocal take, to that stereo track. You can also use another take as long as it's tight enough. Sometimes that sounds even better. In this case, I'm actually using the exact same take. So here you can see the original, and here you can see the copied version on a stereo track. And the toilet effect sounds like this. Sounds really stupid, I know, but once you blend it, it just adds that bubble, slimy bubble feel. So how did I create this? The main plugin is this one. It's Camel Fat. And basically, it is a band pass filter, which means I have cut out all the lows and all the highs. And I'm using resonant filters here, so they both have a bump. So I'm pulling out everything except for the frequencies between 1.4K and 5K. So we end up with a very narrow higher mid bandwidth. So starting at 1.5, so kind of nasty mid frequencies. I'm adding a few more effects here. You can see that, like a distortion and a flanger, but they're not really important. Let me just turn them off. The key is to modulate the frequencies of the bandpass filter. And you can emulate that with any EQ you have. So you basically have to create something like this, go resonant, go here, go resonant, and then you have to modulate the frequencies here. You can do that with automation, but the cool thing is that this plugin has some really cool inbuilt modulation effects. So you can see here I'm using a ramp LFO to modulate the lower frequency, and here I'm using a triangle to modulate the higher frequency. And that's where the movement comes from. Now, to make this a little more obvious and a little more dramatic, I use this plugin here. This is Micro Shift from Sound Toys. And this plugin basically just turns things into stereo by slightly detuning them and slightly delaying them. So let's turn this on. And the idea is to get this signal out of the way of the main vocals, which are panned to the center, obviously. And finally, I added an EQ. Because of those resonances, there are some nasty frequencies in the highs that I wanted to get rid of. And we also don't need the lows really for this kind of effect. All right, time to have another listen. I will pull up the fader. You can see it here. And then you just blend this to taste and add the amount of toilet flush that you need. Nice, right? Quick and dirty video, nice effect, right? If you want to learn more about effects on metal vocals, especially on harsh metal vocals, screaming, shouting, growling, all that kind of stuff, I have done an entire course about this where I show you how I use reverb, modulation, delays, distortion, show you all my different doubling techniques. So if you need a little inspiration to get a little more creative with your thrash metal, speed metal, modern metal, death metal vocals in the future, check out the link below to that vocal course. And as usual, all the courses that I do are included in the membership of my academy, Kohle Audio Kult. So if you get the membership instead, you get all those courses, which is much smarter. Okay, time to get a little more creative and to get a little inspired with your vocals. Check out the course, please. Check out Benighted. Fantastic band. They're releasing their upcoming album very soon. New single is out. It's called Scars. Really cool stuff. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. That's something you should do, right? And ring the bell so we see each other again. I'm going to show you more brutal stuff in the future. See you soon. Thanks for watching. I see you in hell, motherfuckers. Hail the toilet flush. Bye-bye.